everybody. Welcome to another Video Marketing Minute. Andy Glickman along with Maury Rogow, CEO and founder of Rip Media Group. Hi, Maury. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. We'd like to buzz through some questions here, some common questions. First one I got in an email. They wanted to know, when should they use closed captioning?
When do you use closed caption? That's a great question. So here's some really good info for you. I've got a few bullet points. So first, without closed captions, you're not just cutting out the millions of people that have hearing loss, you're cutting out the tens and hundreds of millions of people that are smart enough to keep their computer speakers off when they're at work, right? So most of the people are actually keeping the computer, the videos, to a minimum, as far as sound goes, so they don't interrupt everybody around them. But it also happens when people are sneaking a peek at their LinkedIn or social media or Facebook, Instagram, etc. They're keeping the sound off. So, we're finding that putting, transcriptions, subtitles on there, it has a huge, huge difference in the amount of engagement. And the more engagement you get, at the beginning, the further that video is going to go. So you really want to make sure you're doing it for that reason alone. You also are getting higher ranking in search results. So search engines really are starting to get much smarter and are being able to grab the verbiage either from the transcription file that you can upload, or right there on the blog or right there on YouTube. So it's important for that as well. We talked about the amount of engagement being up, but it's also, think of these two things. It's also lower costs, right, than it ever used to be. There's some services we use, and I'll be honest, we use rev.com. There's a plug for Rev. They don't pay me to say that. And even if they did, it would be like a penny because they're so cheap. It's like $1 a minute, and that's where we send our things. So they do a transcription. There's also one called Temi that we use as well, and they do a transcription that's even less. Instead of $1 a minute, I think it's a dime a minute, but not quite as accurate. I think it's machine learning doing it. So there's those things, and there's some government compliance that you might want to think about as well, because a lot of videos, I think in Europe right now, you have to have transcription, visually impaired, hearing impaired, all kinds of different accessibility so that people can understand what's happening in the video as well, which is not just a nice thing to do, it's important to do, but also now the legal thing to do. So those are the reasons I would think to do captioning, and we're doing them a lot.
So my takeaway is, if you think your viewer is sneaking around watching videos behind the boss's back, then you want to put closed captioning on your videos so they can
help them out.
Yeah, help them out.
You want them to watch.
Awesome. Well, this has been Video Marketing Minute. Andy Glickman with Maury Rogow of Rip Media Group. Thanks again for joining us, Maury.
Thank you.
We will see you guys later.